Shrek, a cinematic universe as deep and expansive as the universe itself, full of relatable characters, compelling stories, and most importantly of all, fan fiction fuel. And yet, even with a universe as vast and expansive as this, we have been devoid of any new entries into the lore for many years. However, there is a sunrise on the horizon as Shrek 5 promises to reinvent the series. And so, here is my pitch for a totally reinvented Shrek series. Now, how can you reinvent one of the most beloved franchises of all times after it has stalled in recent years? You take it the God of War direction. We open on a close-up shot of a green face with beard scruff. The camera pans up to reveal several wrinkles on this face, and then zooms out to reveal that this face is the face of Shrek. 20 years have passed since the last installment, and we see a Shrek who has been hardened by the cruelty of the world. In this first scene, we see Shrek walk over to a grave, and as the camera pans down, it is revealed that this is the grave of Shrek's wife, Fiona. A single tear falls down his face. We hear his thoughts in a voiceover that says, "My life has never been the same ever since the cancer got to her. Ever since she passed on, I have been a terrible father." The next scene reveals that the world has fallen to ruin as a new corrupt government has stolen all the money from the people. As a result, every character has to find a way to deal with the pain and fend for themselves. We see Fargle snorting cocaine and selling heroin to other ogres on the black market. Then we see Fergus, who has joined a gang and earns money by stealing from the rich and murdering the poor. Finally, we see Felicia, who has turned to prostitution to pay off her immense debts after her husband left her with the 12 kids. Then we cut back to Shrek and reveal that he has become a hired hand who will do anything, no matter what the moral cost, to earn money to give to his daughter Felicia to help pay off her debts. He then says, "I've been a terrible friend." And we cut to Donkey, who has become a slave after drunkenly gambling his life away. Donkey's wife left him and took custody of the children after she demanded a divorce because of his frequent drunken rages. The film cuts to Puss in Boots, who has sold everything he owns, including his hair, to pay for his ever-increasing rent. Then, we look at the gingerbread man, who was murdered and crushed to pieces and snorted. We then cut back to Shrek as he sits down on a log and faces the sunrise. He buries his head in his hands and weeps as he reflects upon the world, his past, and what has become of his family. Then, a silhouette in front of the sun walks towards Shrek, and when he turns, it is revealed that this man is Prince Charming. It turns out that he survived this whole time and has been living in hiding ever since the new government order took over. At first, Shrek becomes defensive, but then Charming kneels down and reveals that he holds no more resentment and has instead come to offer Shrek a job. Charming offers Shrek a large sum of money if he will assassinate the king. Shrek, desperate for any chance to reconnect with his kids and give Felicia's children a good home, accepts the job. On his way to the castle, Shrek stops by the house where Donkey is a slave and murders Donkey's slave owner. At first, Donkey is shocked and says that this will truly be disastrous for both of them. But then Shrek says that he no longer cares for his own well-being and that he needs the help of his good friend for this one final quest. The two travel across the world and eventually run into Puss in Boots. Their first thought is to enlist the help of their friend on their journey, but because of the terrible times that had befallen Puss in Boots, he has gone insane. Seeing their friend in this position was too much to bear, so they try to walk away. But Puss in Boots has become so crazed that he attempts to murder Donkey. While it pains him greatly, Donkey has no choice but to kill Puss in Boots. After the deed is done, Donkey turns to Shrek and says, "What kind of world do we live in that we must kill our friends so that we may kill our enemies?" Shrek, in a deep and touching moment, turns to Donkey and says, "This world is like an onion. On the outside, it might seem easy to live a simple and happy life, but as you cut deeper into the onion, you'll find more and more reasons to cry. I just wish I could remember how to cry. Along the road to the castle, they run into each one of Shrek's children, but every time Shrek tries to reconnect with them, it ultimately fails. Then, once they finally reach the castle, they travel to the throne room of the evil king. The two of them rush into the room and quickly take out each of the guards, leaving only Shrek, Donkey, and the king left in the room. The king slowly steps back as he raises his hands in surrender, but then he slams his hand down on a button that releases a poison dart from the wall that shoots across the room and hits Donkey straight in the neck. As Donkey slowly dies, Shrek carries him in his arms as he sees the light fade from the eyes of his dear friend. Shrek begs for Donkey to carry on, but Donkey only turns to Shrek and says, "No, Shrek. It's time for me to go and make some waffles in that great waffle iron in the sky." Donkey exhales for the last time, and Shrek rises in anger, charging towards the king. The king and Shrek engage in a fierce brawl, in which Shrek finally pins the king down and says, "This is the part where you pay for all that you've done to this world, my friends, and my family." With his bare hands, Shrek smashes the king's head in. Slowly, Shrek's anger fades as he rises from the body of the dead king and hears slow clapping coming from behind him. He quickly turns around and sees Charming standing there, clapping. Shrek then says, "There, are you happy? Where is my money?" Charming stops clapping and says, "Oh, well, there is a little bit of a problem with that. You see, I never truly meant to go through with paying you." Shrek stares at Charming completely shocked, and then Charming says, "Thanks for getting me the crown." Shrek charges at Charming in a fury, but is stopped by a sudden onslaught of guards and is thrown outside the castle. Defeated, Shrek stumbles into the woods, weeping. He then falls onto his knees and cries out to his deceased wife. He says, "Fiona, I know I failed you. I know I failed our children. I failed our friends. I never should have let any of this happen." As he says this, the ghost of Fiona apparates into the woods, and she lays her hand on his shoulder. She then says, "Shrek, you have not failed. Our children are still alive. They may not be well, but it is not too late for you to still reconnect with them." Shrek weeps once more as her ghost fades from the sky. Then he stands up and walks away. We fade into another shot of Felicia and her 12 children as Shrek slowly approaches. She barks at Shrek and says, "Shrek, what do you want here?" With tears in his eyes, he says, "I was wrong. I was wrong to kick you out of the house. I was wrong for trying to force you to be someone you weren't. I was so concerned with the layers of my own onion that I didn't take the time to look at the onion of my own child. I believed that myself and my swamp were all that mattered, but I was wrong. It wasn't just my little house. This world, this whole world, this is my swamp." Felicia sheds a single tear as she reaches out to hug her father. As they embrace, the screen fades to white. Roll the credits. Shrek 5, The Phantom Pain, coming Shrektember 20 Shreks, 20 Shrek Teen. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our beautiful vision for a better future. We are here creating beautiful artwork, and I am talking to you, movie directors. If you would like my full movie script that I've spent 50 years writing, just hit up my Bumbler Interactive account, and we can work out a deal to give the world the movie it truly deserves. But okay, thank you all for putting up with this video. I hope you got as much fun out of it as I got out of making it. Hey, maybe you even got a laugh. That would be pretty heckin' cool. Before I give you all the final rundown, I wanted to let you all know that we actually have a Discord. I've never really talked about it on this channel before, so it's probably about time I do that. The invite link is in the description down below. And with that, I would like to thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on to have our next video delivered directly to you. You should also like and comment to show your support. Another super cool way to help support this channel is to share this video with others. Okay, and with that, I've been talking for a while now, so thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody!